Hey.
Welcome to our
Okay, everyone. I'm sorry I said something silly and we have the giggles. Okay. We have some questions to answer. Welcome everyone to our first after show. We were meant to do this a while ago, but I kept forgetting to organize it, and then it was Sunday. So we're doing it. Plus, Dees was really short, so I feel like we've settled. Now we're doing the thing. If anyone mentions how bad the overlay is, I don't want to hear it. Okay, we're gonna have people coming in and out, so we're keeping it cash. Okay. Also, if you want to keep asking questions in chat, I will clock them. So, do so if you wish. The first question, lock in, is from Gorthungus the Stinky on our disc. Speaking of the Discord.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Goodness.
Did you like that?
I like that one a lot.
Uh-huh.
Gorthungus.
Gorthungus. You can head to the
Let's hope it's
Discord
not
as
for
well. We
Apollo.
ask questions. Apollo likes this one. Their question is, this is kind of dumb. There is no dumb questions. Was there a lot of thought put into the colors the characters are wearing? Like in terms of theme or how the characters want people to see them? Or was it more, I like this color?
Ooh. I know for a fact, so I always pick a certain color when it comes to character creation, specifically for the purpose of really cool Pinterest boards. There's a reason that Raimi wears a lot of white. It hasn't been revealed yet though, but it was deliberately chosen. Her hair color was just kind of like, I haven't used this color yet in a character. I'm gonna do it. So that's why she has blue hair. But beyond
Real.
And pronouns.
She does have pronouns.
Blue hair and pronouns.
So I think that color coding your characters is a good mental tool in a way, like in the same way that you might do a voice or have an item or have a song that you associate with them to try to get into the headspace. I think color coding, I don't know. I think it's because like my biggest media influences have always been like anime, video games, where if you are a main character, you are color coded. And there's the color psychology of it all, where I wanted, and I knew that I was playing an evil character, so I was like, okay, well, the low-hanging fruit there is have black as a secondary color, because that is a very dark, very ominous color, and what can we supplement that? And I was like, well, thinking about his personality, he's a very toxic person. In canon, slightly misogynistic, mean to service workers, just sort of a dick. So I was like, yeah, okay, toxicity and also being having like the acid breath weapon. I was like, yeah, let's go with green as like the typical acid color. So I think that like a very corrosive green paired with black is a nice color matching.
Also, like green is most associated with envy, but I feel like it's also associated with greed. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when you think of greed, it's often like green money. You just always have that visual, I feel.
Yeah.
Or gold.
Capitalist king.
That's him.
Solstice, because she's a monk, I always associate like more earthy colors with monks. But specifically like Way of the Long Death, I like that like almost like rusty blood red for it. I think it's a very like life color and passion color. And I think Solstice is a really, really passionate character who also ends up covered in blood frequently because of the way she fights. So hey, it works out. And I also wanted to have red hair.
Very, very fair. Incredible.
Worked out.
I think all my NPCs so far have just been wearing like black and white, so get into it. Next question. I'm curious where the cast starts. This is from Bren. Shout out to Bren.
Bren, who's in chat. Hello, Bren.
Quick question from Nodstar. Will this Q&A get posted on YouTube later? Yes, it will. Alrighty. I'm curious where the cast starts when creating characters. Where do the seeds of personality, backstory, etc. come from?
I feel like that's an easy one for me because with this campaign specifically, we get sent sins that we can commit. And so mine ended up starting, I picked a sin and went, that's really cool. And then just went on from there and like what that character would be like and why, why certain sins were committed. So yeah, we get sent a base, luckily.
Yeah, it's kind of like each sin kind of has like 2 character options you can possibly go with. Though with my version, I was just like, also, if you have a character idea, we'll just figure out what it matches. Because I don't want to put you guys in a box. But I think for people who are like, I sometimes like a little prompt. A little prompt gets the blood flowing and I enjoy it. And the prompts were very vague. So either, as you could probably tell, you're looking for someone else's soul or your own soul, and there's one for each of the sins. It's a really cool module.
Yeah, I fully didn't read the part of about the sins in the brief when I rocked up to character creation and that session 0. I knew that we were in hell looking for souls, and it could be your own or someone else's. And in the writing of the module, and this I did pay attention to, there were paths relating to the group patron. If the group was more good aligned, neutral aligned, or evil aligned. And I see Maddie nodding, so I'm getting this right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I rocked up to the session 0 with 3 concepts in mind. I remember the good aligned was going to be like an Elle Woods in hell, lawyer type character where their whole thing was like, I want to figure out infernal law. This shit is whack. Who's letting people sell their souls? That doesn't seem legal. I did 1 module of contract law and I thought I was hot shit.
But now I'm missing this character. I never got to meet them, but I miss them now.
The neutral character, both the neutral character and Mechnon, the evil character, were both based off of literature. So
don't tell them who Mechnon's based off of yet.
I'm not gonna.
Good.
I know, I didn't want to say who Soul's based on.
Oh.
The neutral character was going to be an inversion of the picture of Dorian Gray, where it was the idea of this artist that sold his soul for the person that he loves. So it's not, instead of like Dorian selling his own soul, it's like, oh no, the artist sold his soul because he wanted to preserve the beauty of his muse, and then the muse ditched him. And this character was just heartbroken and was like, I may as well get my fucking soul back.
Damn.
And then Mechnon is my Greek mythology king.
Anyway, which is why when you said that, I went, this is so this, and you went, bitch, what the fuck do you think I base this on? And I was like, ah!
when you were like, yeah, it's giving his vibes, and I was like, Maddie, I know you. I know you're as much of a nerd for Greek mythology as I am. We are looking at the same play in front of us. This is what we're doing.
Very much so. Damn.
With Raimi, I don't know, dude. I get inspiration from absolutely anywhere. I can witness an exchange on the street and be like, this is going to be my personality in D&D for the next month. Raimi was actually a character reflavored from an old, like, what was supposed to be an actual play that was, we got like halfway through recording a season of it, and then shit happened. It never saw the light of day. So it's a reused character that I had like art and stuff for. And I was like, hey, Maddie, can I just use this? And I like copy and pasted paragraphs worth of text from that character, sent it to Maddie, and she was like, I'm gonna read this when I'm less tired. And I'm like, okay, great. And then she got back to me and she's like, this is great. Time zones. But yeah, I can't remember the original inspo. I think I was just like, I want to make a little guy who's really fucking lethal, and it just went out from there.
Real. Okay. Next question. For everyone, your characters all seem to be neutral aligned on a good day. What do you enjoy or struggle with about playing morally grey or evil characters? I have a suggestion to the answer of this question. I think most of the people at the table have DM'd before, and I think that's why it's easy for them. But you
I was
guys
just gonna
also
say.
answer.
Yeah, no, that's 100% it. It's easy to play the bad guy or morally gray guy if you want to look on the bright side of all the shit that we've been doing and all the service workers we've pissed off when you've done it on the other side of the DM screen. So, like, I create morally gray characters as a default because I think it's a better reflection of reality than just having a caricature of some virtue or value, you know, especially because in every aspect of what I do in D&D and tabletop games, I try and make sure that there's not always a clear-cut good or bad decision made. And that trickles its way down into the player characters, so it's second nature on my end.
For sure, for sure.
Haley, I need you to go first because I'm gonna yap.
Heard. Okay. I love playing an evil little guy. I love being up to no good. Honestly, I feel like I need to be more evil. I think I've been too good. I saved those kids, guys.
I mean, to
That
be
doesn't make me a
fair,
good guy.
as a character,
they just happen to be there.
Soul was chill and did one thing that was evil. It was a kind of
I
one
was
bad
chill
day
and did
thing.
one. I
You
had
were
like an
morally
evil
grey.
month. I had a real evil month, and now like I'm just trying to set some shit right.
Exactly. You had a month.
Yeah.
She had her Joker one
Really
bad day
bad
moment.
God forbid a woman have hobbies.
God
Oh my
forbid
gosh,
a
tell me
woman have
about it.
Soul's crash out. It was legendary.
Never happened before.
When that awkward moment where your crash out involves you ending up in fucking hell.
Yeah, there's a handful, just a couple things I did that really kind of landed me there, but for the most part, you know, I was a teacher and a wife, so I guess that makes me like less evil than a lot of other people. It makes me nervous. I should get more evil.
I mean, Ymir
I
is
love how you're
that's
having
the
this
problem.
epiphany during the
Ymir
after
is,
show.
I'm pretty sure Ymir is like chaotic good.
That's probably true.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Mhm.
Love a chaotic good. So, I was a philosophy major, and this is going to get bad. And I'm sorry in advance. This is
Where's
only
my
going to get
popcorn?
worse.
I don't have popcorn. I have freeze-dried sour worms.
Alignment is not something I generally fuck with, because I think that similar to what Diana said, people are by default, I think, morally gray, and it is a choice day by day where you put yourself on the alignment spectrum as prescribed by D&D. D&D has a weird thing where it'll tell you, hey, this is the alignment chart, and you'll ask it, how are you defining lawful? And they'll say, here's the alignment chart, use it if you want to. And you're like, please, no, help me. So, because lawfulness is a very loose concept, even beyond D&D. Like, if we're talking about social contracts, you can go even further, like, well, if you're living in a state of nature, the law is do whatever the fuck you want. Because you're in a state of nature. But since we live in societies and we form social contracts, we exist underneath the dominion of the Leviathan, blah, blah, blah. Thomas Hobbes, love, Pookie Bear, baby girl. Not really. Just no philosopher ever is good, okay? None of them. Never look at the personal life sections on Wikipedia. It's never good. It's a great tea-spilling sesh. One time, no, not gonna get derailed. Okay, and anyway.
Look in!
Broadly, what is considered good and evil in D&D? Generally, good is described as selflessness, whereas evil is described as selfishness. Because a good person is somebody who will be heroic, and in the world of adventuring, which is the world that campaigns exist within by default of the game system, is a good person is a person that's going to see the kids in the cage and tell them to come with them and get them to safety aboard the ship. And someone who's evil is someone who's going to say, if I try to save these kids, it's going to put me in danger of not getting to the ship, so I'm not going to do that. So the way that I see evil and the way that I roleplay evil isn't that, I'm just a dick to everyone. I'll be a dick to those I consider below me. And I'll be a dick to those who I consider that I don't need their help or something from them. If that situation changes, they'll get respect. That's where the line is. Basic human decency is going above and beyond for Meknon, because unless you can you have shown your value or earned his respect, he will assume you are below him. And if you're below him, why should he waste a second of breath on you? But when you're evil, you need to be careful that you're not role-playing antisocial, because this is a communal game. So that's why very quick I was like, everybody in the party has earned my respect. Solid. Because if not, I was going to be a dick to them, and that's not how you foster a good relationship at the gaming table and a good dynamic at the table. So you can be selfish and still cooperate with people because they'll get you where you need to be.
Yeah.
So
it's literally just that, like, the easiest way to play any evil character is you need to figure out a way in which there is absolutely no situation in which they don't need the people in this party alive and liking them. And then you can play an evil character.
And you gave that to us immediately, where you were like, all of you need to
common
make
goal
it to the bottom of hell with all the shit that it'll take all of you to gather. Where it's like, oh, damn, so I can't be a dick to them after I've gotten my daughter. I have to kind of still work with them until the very end.
Exactly.
And then die.
Play evil characters, I think, is something that takes practice. And in general, if you're just at your home game, it's kind of something that most people would recommend against. I think lawful evil you can pull off pretty easily. That's gonna be like your warlocks who are happy to be there and that kind of thing. Also, a lawful evil villain is terrifying, and I live for it. If you're wondering, lawful evil villain, like Gortash from BG3 is the perfect example of a lawful evil villain. Capitalism, baby. Get into it. Or a evil paladin who believes that what he is doing is good, like Peacemaker. I will get peace, and I don't care how many men, women, and children I have to kill in order to get it. Very that. But yeah. Playing evil characters is fun. But it also involves doing extensive session zeros, which is what we did. Because we all trust each other that we're not going to cross any lines, which is really helpful. Okay.
Literally the amount of conversations we had where we were like, let's make sure Meknon doesn't come across as a colonizer. And we were like, yes, please.
Slow. Do you have any pre-game rituals to get into the DM/player/character mindset? I can go. Y'all have seen my walkies? Yeah, I put on my noise-canceling headphones, and I go on walkies around my living room while listening to songs that have to do with NPCs or a scene, and I'll be buttering to myself like a psych ward patient while walking in my little circles and going, yes, it's all coming together. And sometimes I'll stop, like if I have a revelation, I'll look at the sky, and then I'll rush up to my computer, and I'll dive it down. I'll be like, yes, continue, and then I keep walking in circles. It's very normal. Or I'll be in the car on my way to work because my commute is half an hour now, and I'll just be talking to myself in funny voices.
Yeah, talking to yourself in funny voices is so real. If I had like a cam that picked up the sound from the inside of my car, like a dash cam or something, there'd be monologues upon monologues.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Personally, I have my Obsidian file that I like to go into. I have it pulled up now in case there were any questions.
I want to see the map.
I'll show it to you. I could like stream it to you right now, right?
You could, because then everyone would see it. Just make sure you don't have any private info on your computer on.
Address,
good.
credit card info,
Social
mother's
security.
maiden name.
I put my social security number on here. Is that okay?
Yeah, actually, the Obsidian file just has all of my tax information mostly. Here, I'll share it. Let me see. Let me make sure I do it right so you don't see my blueprints that I have to leave open because I'm on a puzzle.
You nerd.
Okay.
There. Here's what it looks like so far. It's not crazy, but I just... Oh.
He's
Oh, it's loading.
Oh.
She's loading.
If it loads. I listened to it while I, I listened to my playlists while I,
Yeah, playlist is so important. It's still loading.
Everything on my screen is frozen.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! Can you still hear us?
This was a mistake.
Oh god.
It's alright. We'll stop watching. We're bad.
St. Andrew.
So what kind of questions are you guys looking for? What a good question. Any! They can be stupid. They can be serious. Any question. We maybe take a
send a picture in the
screenshot
chat.
of it and we'll put
Yeah.
put it
Yeah.
in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord.
Plug it.
Fuck! I fucked it. There we go. Alright. Oh yes, rituals.
Okay, so when we start streaming, our call time is 10 p.m. for me.
Yeah.
I'm so tired at that point. So my pregame ritual is consuming truly ungodly amounts of caffeine, which I continue to consume throughout at least the first half of the stream. Also, usually just because the time lines up, right before our call time, I will have made a pizza and I will be eating the pizza.
This is true.
The pizza is the unspoken hero, the unspoken background character.
I'll be
Very true.
carbo loading before the before we go on, and usually I'll mute myself for like a minute and I'll just practice going into the deep voice so that the vocal muscles are more relaxed and able to do that.
Very true. Yeah, no,
Oh,
if
nice.
y'all don't know, it's 7:30 a.m. for me right now. And when
nasty.
we stream, we meet at 6:30. So I have to get up at like 5:30 because I put on a full face of makeup. I don't have a full face of makeup right now, because you guys don't deserve that from me for a fucking Q&A. And so I'll usually have my little YouTube video up and I'll be watching like Smosh Reddit stories or some shit while I put on makeup while like trying to make eye contact with myself in the mirror. And I take my Ritalin and I'm like, work. And I sit down and it kicks in and I go, yappa. And then we start.
Okay, I threw it in the Discord instead. None of the names pop up. I have no idea why. But that's my little graph, so you can't see the information that I've written down.
Orange dot over to the side.
Yeah, what the hell is that? Oh, it's Meknon's daughter. I haven't written the information in for her yet.
It's fine.
That's it, everyone.
Mhm.
You can kind of see it.
Oh my god, I love that.
It looks
That's like a
Everything's
brain.
connected. It feels so good. The names are visible on light mode. Sweet.
Yeah, but light mode involves getting onto
light mode sucks though.
I know my ritual is pretty. I mean, it used to be very famously me just taking a shot of tequila
That
before
was
hopping
true.
into a game, so that way I can roleplay.
That's real.
I used to do that a lot while DMing as well. It honestly, so I had an anxiety disorder. I'm medicated now, so I do that a lot less. But I
Surreal.
cannot improvise. Cannot do like it's OCPD, right? Going off the rails is canonically against my nature, and the alcohol used to help with that. Nowadays we play at 2:30 Pacific time, so I'm not doing that. Instead, I hop on and sometimes I'll do Raimi's voice a little bit just to myself in the shower while I'm getting ready, but it's a very easy voice for me to drop into. So usually I'll just throw on her Spotify playlist, which is all like happy-go-lucky tunes, very like I don't give a shit about the fact that we're actually in hell right now. I'm just having a good time. And I'll look through her Pinterest board, just kind of remind myself of what her magic looks like. And then if I have time, I'll read through her backstory just so I'm like, okay, what are my motivations? Beyond that, that's it.
Before I go into other questions, for those of us who do a voice, do you have a trigger line? I have trigger lines for every single one of my characters.
I do. I don't have a voice really for Solstice, but I have for all my other characters. Hell yeah! In other games, I love having a trigger line. It's so fun.
Yeah. Does Mechnon have a trigger line?
For other characters that I have done, yes, because their voices were more based on accents. When a voice is more just based on vocal placement, no. Well, I'll just be growling into my mic for a while. And for real, there was like one day that I did it, and it the growl was a certain way, and I was like, there's an app for this.
You can monetize the shit out of your warm-ups. I imagine you just sit in front of a mirror and just go, "Bring me your manager," over and over again, like Mechnon's voice.
Bring me your manager. For real. Nope. How unhinged do we want to get here?
We do have other questions, so it's up to you.
Okay.
Is it going to be quick?
Yeah, it's going to be quick. People have gotten into my DMs being like, "Why don't you do like smut audios and stuff?" And my response canonically is because I live with my parents, and if they walk in on me, they've already walked in on me in cosplay. If they walk in on me doing that, I have to burn the house down.
Real.
That's fair. That's a reasonable answer.
Diana, do you have one for Raimi?
No, honestly, I feel like I should. I used to have a whole monologue for her that I would practice for the old campaign, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was about. It was over a year ago at this point.
Real.
But I would practice that sometimes, but no, I just drop into
I think for Calithria, it's just saying, "Oh." For any of the like Slavic Russian people is going, "Ugh." Just that noise in general. No, it's the Victor from Arcane, like, eh. It just gets you into it. And for Tyax, it's just going, what the fuck is it? Or just going like, ah!
The smoking motion.
Just like, ow! Eh. Oh, what the fuck? I had to edit it out of my, like, doing a Jersey accent videos because I kept saying it in front of sentences. Like well, it's just saying, well, if you're doing that kind of thing, just scrunching up your nose. And I have a character called Florian who I've been playing for years, and he has two, which is either going, all right, or well. And I just scrunch up my nose and kind of show my front teeth slightly, and I get into it real quick. It's going, right, well, in reality, is it that though? It's just the most annoying voice. Anyways, Legendary Plague asks, how'd you meet one another? I'm gonna assume that this means like IRL, like us. Diana and I met by sliding into each other's DMs once.
I think so. I made a video about you in the least creepy way possible. And
that's
then you
true.
Were like, oh my god.
And then I was like, do you want to play Baldur's Gate 3 with me? And the rest was history.
It was just a video like, go follow this person. They're cool. They do good shit. It's funny.
I cried a little bit.
But yeah, no. And then Maddie and I still have the same, like, it's us and Kiki, our same little trio. Haley, we've talked before.
We met at PAX U briefly.
Maybe that was, yeah. And then Apollo, we did not talk before any of this. But
I'm in your walls.
I met Apollo through casting calls for Dungeons and Demigods. That's how I met you.
Okay, that's when I thought, but I wasn't sure if we had spoken.
And I met
before.
Haley through Faye when you did the Neverland one shot. That's how we met.
That's cool.
The only person on this call that I have met IRL is Haley, whom I have selfies with. That if I appear shorter than them, are fucking doctored. First of all,
Madeline is actively doctoring those photos for me.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Maddie
We
for
met a big
sure casting call where you were like, "Hey, it's not gonna work out, but do you want to?
I was like,
Do
do
you
you want
want
to
to
play
absolutely?
someone's dead, like, little brother?
Do you want to traumatize Justin?" I said, "Yes, I do. Thank you."
How'd you know?
Yep. Very, very fun.
Yeah. I don't remember how I met most people. I'm just like, I've always known you. What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
Retroactively, you guys have been my best friends since elementary school.
This
I
is
refuse to
very
believe
true.
otherwise.
Hannah and I met through being mutuals, but I also think through Diana. I want to say through Diana. Probably. That feels right. Yeah.
I think so. That one Discord server, we had a big, not a big, but like a smaller-ish Discord server full of a bunch of content creators. It wasn't a fan server or anything, and so it was just us hanging out and playing games sometimes. And so a lot of us met through that. So that's
Yeah.
how I met Hannah as well.
And then Sue, I met through Anne, who did our art. Slay. Okay. Next question. Have you already played Chains? I have. No one else has. So I've DM'd it before. I'm DMing it on Start Playing. They've just entered Cania in our game, which is the 8th layer, so they're way ahead of these guys. But usually when I'm doing an actual play, because I'm nervous, I like to at least have play tested something so I know the lore and I know what I'm getting myself into. Dungeons and Demigods, I'd also run a similar game before so I could kind of like work out some of the kinks. And like they all end up in the end extremely different from one another, but it helps me feel a bit more confident about what I'm going into, and it always ends up better the second time around. Sorry to my Start Playing play. I'm kidding. I love you guys. You guys are great. They're like, are we? Yay, I'm a sacrifice. I'm like, yes. The reason why I ask if you have or are playing through Chains is that I am running and may use Chains. It's a really good module. Anyways.
I'm having a blast with it.
It's
fun.
a vibe. Chains of Asmodeus is basically a road trip through hell. What would your character be like on a modern day road trip? Who's driving?
Oh.
Me.
Dan?
Yeah, there you go.
And here's the thing, Meknon's not the first choice to drive, but he won't let anybody else do it because he does not like not being in control. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And one person takes over and you're such a backseat driver, they're like, you fucking do it, I can't handle this.
It's like driving with your dad when you're learning to drive and he's like, nope, 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 nope.
I will turn this car around.
My foot goes through the floor because I'm hitting the imaginary brake and there's nothing in the road.
Real. You are John Mulaney's dad where everyone goes, big dadas, and you go through the drive-thru, you order one black coffee and leave.
that's my Tom is yeah. One black coffee type of dude.
Mm-hmm. I think
Rumi and Soul.
I don't have a good. I want to say like Solstice. Maybe it's just me projecting, but likes to navigate, like find better routes and stuff like that. But I don't have a great survival score.
Just because she likes to do it.
Because I multi-classed.
Just because she likes to do it doesn't mean she's good at it.
She needs control a little bit. But also taking a more responsible role.
Also, Mom.
Like, she does not have the aux cord.
You are shotgun with the map.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Raimi is the complete opposite of me when it comes, like, in basically every aspect. And she's very much a journey, not the destination type gal. So she would 100% be leaning like halfway out an open window, regardless of the weather, like pointing at every single, tourist
Cow.
trap that we pass by. She'll be like, "Oh my god, the world's biggest ball of yarn! We should go see that!" And like just be the most annoying little shit. She'd also shoplift from the gift shops and then run to the car, like throw herself in through the window and be like, "Fucking drive!" Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. And she doesn't have her license, and
Baller.
I know that.
No, yeah, she canonically cannot drive. She didn't drive in the other thing.
Well, she did get a license, but then the incident.
She will get arrested if they find her driving.
And just being the type of passenger princess who's like, let's go on a road trip. And everyone's like, you can't ask everyone to go on a road trip. I just saw the pin. Are we getting a beach episode? I would say that Stygia has pools of water.
No, that's not the same.
Stygia's in layer 5. We'd have to wait 3 more layers to get a beach episode.
I never said. I said there might be an
survive.
episode with something that could be construed as a breach.
We're not getting a beach episode, y'all. Sucks. What about a fireworks episode at the end of summer?
I can't actually. I did say there is one thing where there might be a beach episode, but I don't think you guys are gonna go for it.
Because we're not
I'm
good
looking,
people.
I'm looking.
We don't get a beach
No, because you don't
episode.
trust
The Boggy
anything.
Trove? The Boggy Trove?
Oh, that's true.
The Boggy Trove?
Wow.
Mammon's Boggy Trove? That was my
Mammon's
nickname in
Boggy
high school.
Trove.
The more you
I'm
Jail
so
to
excited
all
to go
of
to
you.
Mammon's Boggy Trove. That's like that's my number one.
Swamp.
I'm really hyped to be there.
It's
Well,
giving
really
slugs
happy
but
with this
ugly
one.
stuff hut.
It's giving Florida. Yeah! Oh my god, I'm giving
Oh, we also have
I'm giving
Haggard.
everyone in fucking Benares southern accents now. Welcome to
Perfect.
Benares.
That'd be good.
What you after? Oh, we got that. Go back this way. You can trust us. We don't want anything. Just your soul. Yep.
I'm trying to find where we might have a beach episode. We didn't pass it, right? We didn't pass it.
You haven't passed it yet.
Oh, it's the oh my gosh, what is it
The
called?
fucking gardens, isn't it?
It's the gardens.
Oh yeah.
No.
we never
It's the
went to
fucking gardens.
garden.
We gotta get out of here though.
We
The
have to
gardens,
get
you've
out of here.
passed the gardens. You're in Benares.
Okay, good.
We
Okay,
missed
sweet.
it.
Okay, okay.
You
Did we get to
haven't
know
missed
what was
it.
in it? Oh.
The gardens.
It's the boggy.
The gardens were like, it's basically like the land of the lotus flowers.
So we could have had a beach
Mm.
episode. This would have been
Could
That
have.
sounds like we
But you guys would have
Could've
come
had-
out again and be like, why is it on fire? Is that the Abyssal Armies? That's crazy. Where were we in here for? 11 years?
ooh.
The Unmaker is like fucking ancient.
Yeesh.
Get into it. Next question. I have a question for Apollo. How'd you get into voice acting?
Okay, so the story is pretty simple. Uh,
Have a voice.
you look at. I got immediately clocked as a theater kid the other day, and it hurt, but it was accurate, and that made it hurt more. I was always a bit of a theater kid. Love performing, love all that. Then COVID hit, and at the beginning of COVID, I also started developing chronic pain and chronic fatigue, and it was really, really bad at the beginning. So I knew that I couldn't, that like stuff like theater, like I could barely stay standing in a retail job. There was no way that I was going to survive being on stage. So I was like, sad. I had a mutual online who had just written a book, and they were like, "Hey, Apollo, I like your voice. I'm doing a launch event for my book. Do you want to read the first chapter for it?" And I did. And then it was like, "Hey, that was pretty fun. How about you do the voiceover for like the first 3 chapters?" And I said, "Hell yeah, I'll do it." So then I recorded that, and it was a lot of fun. And I was like, this is helping me tap into a font of creativity that I thought I wouldn't be able to do, because it's just condensing all the creativity and all that expression into my voice instead of my entire body. And I really like doing this, and now I get like the doors to some of the media that I grew up with and I love and have shaped me as a person through like animation and video games, etc., are now open to me. And that is just the path that I decided that I wanted to go down. Resources, websites like I Want to Be a Voice Actor by D. Bradley Baker. Incredible first step. Familiarize yourself with that. Obviously, if you want to be a voice actor, the most important part there is actor, because everyone has a voice. Get into acting classes, get into improv classes, get into singing classes. Find community events that'll help you shape your craft, surround yourself with creative people, learn from your friends. And then, then the more business side of being an actor kicks in, and it's similar, you go step by step, work on your skills, and then slowly you will build up opportunities, you will build up equipment, and maybe you'll set up a little home space for yourself. The goal with being a voice actor is, I come at it from the perspective of being remote, because I don't know where you are located. Where I was planning on going to the States after the summer, but America is and I'm not
Sorry.
putting myself on a plane
Yeah,
to go over
save
there. Whereas if you're in a city that has a big voice acting presence, go seek out where the people that are doing it are there and learn from them and be a little amoeba and osmosis everything. If not, learn as much as you can and get yourself to. For me, the goal is get my skills to a point where when opportunities come my way, I can step up to them and be like, hell yeah, I'm taking this. And just have fun with it.
I'm not a voice actor, but I hang out with a lot of voice actors.
True.
Especially because if you are in the LA area, I live in Burbank, and that's where all the voice actors live. And it is also like knowing people.
Yeah.
Just like knowing people, and then knowing people won't get you a
Networking.
job, but it'll get you to the places where you can get a job.
Very true.
So just be friendly, go to like community events, go to places where you can meet people that also do it.
Yeah.
Your community's like your number one resource. So
Unfortunately, it's very hard to get anywhere in the entertainment industry if you don't put yourself out there. Like, a lot of people will say, like, it's not fair that nepotism rules everything. I'm like, yeah, it isn't fair. Next question. Here's how you're gonna actually do this, because this is your reality. I'm so sorry. By the way, I work in the film industry, so I have a little bit of knowledge. But it's genuinely, you have to work on how to get people to like you in a professional capacity, because then they will remember you and they will want to give you nice things like a job. Honestly, by just being chill and having nice conversations with people and giving them the professional amount of respect that they deserve, you are more likely to be remembered and given nice things. Like, I've been in job interviews where they've been like, you're not qualified for this, but I have a friend who's getting this job. I'm going to send you a link and you should apply for that because I think you'll be good for it. They didn't have to do that, but they did it because we had a cool conversation. Talk to people and be chill and nice. And I know some of you are neurodivergent. Okay, I know, but so am I. Just get it. Most people in the entertainment industry are neurodivergent as well. You'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, question from Bren. Do any of you have any idea what your characters would have been like as little kids?
I do, and it's a bummer.
All three of you, honestly.
I think I don't have a solid idea, but
I
do
like
have
to
a
think
very
that Mechnon
specific
was the
mental-
runt because it fills me with joy.
That is exactly where I was going. I have one mental image of Timanther is actually
Holding
there was
his
a
tail.
joke last week. There was a joke last week of something being a pyramid scheme, and I was just gonna turn to anyone and just say, Timanther is a big pyramid, and just not elaborate. Because Timanther is a nation within an enormous pyramid in a desert. That's actual
But that was the
Forgotten
name
Realms
of your
lore.
dad, and I thought you were going to tell me your dad was a pyramid, and I was like,
I wish.
Instead, he was in my
but, like,
life.
I well and truly think that, like, I have the whole in my mind, like, Macnon is like a little street urchin kid who, in the middle of, like, munching on scraps, one day looks at the palatial palace, like, looks up at the palatial palace and just gets the deep-seated fire of, that will be mine, and just goes up from there.
Yeah. And he managed to get it really well, so now he's like gonna look at his kids and be like, when I wanted something, I lived on the street and I walked up and I asked them, give me any job, and they did, and I know how to work, and they're like, Dad, interest rates, and you're like, eh.
Your generation just don't want to go out and conquer anymore.
Can we put that on a shirt? Because I think that's Mechnon's personality in a nutshell. It's so crazy.
I love that so much.
Bryn, I know the answer to this question for at least 3 of us. Anyone watched a good movie recently? Sinners.
I just saw Sinners.
Sinners
And
is
it's
so
so good. I need to go back and see it again while
I
it's
need
still
to
in
see it
theaters.
again. My
was
sister went to the
phenomenal.
bathroom during the music sequence. You know the one. And she was like,
No.
I've
Why?
never regretted anything more in my life. Like, she just timed it perfectly. Like, it looked like nothing was
Oh.
happening. And she's like, I need to go back because I need to see this scene in cinemas. Like, she has no idea what it is. She's just heard people talk about it. Like, she came back and I looked at her
Oh,
like this. She was like,
No.
what?
I
I
will
was
say-
like, no.
Ugh.
You know, I'm Irish. I live in Ireland. Being the only black person in the theater watching Sinners, wild. However,
Everyone's like,
being justifiably vibing to both of the musical sequences.
Yeah.
When Rocky Road to Dublin started playing, I was like, yeah!
this is a song of Harper. Do, do, do.
All of these songs are from my people. Let's go.
My people. So good. Also, last night I rewatched Barbie Princess Charm School.
I was
Actually-
gonna say,
I rewatched 2 movies, Barbie Princess Charm School and Wallace and Gromit Curse the Were-Rabbit. So I had a wonderful
Yeah.
night last night.
Christopher
I-
Were-Rabbit.
I just got to see 28 Days Later in theater. Not 28 years, like 28 days later.
Oh.
Absolute cinema. It was like an opera of a zombie movie. I was taken.
It
was
it
phenomenal. I
changed
loved
it changed the genre forever.
It-
Like it
I
was
was
so
watching it.
iconic.
Sometimes when people say like this movie like shaped the genre, you'll go back and watch it and you're like, it was kind of boring, but I see how it did that. This movie, I was like, it's still the best one. Every other zombie movie wants to be 28 Days Later. Like this
Mhm.
is so good.
It's so
I
good.
can't stop thinking about it.
Have you seen Train to Busan?
No, but I know
You
everything happens.
need
but
to
I
watch
need to
it.
sit down and
It's
watch
my
You would love
it's
it.
my
I think that one
favorite
I'm gonna
horror
watch.
movie of all time. It's so good.
I've only heard good things. I need to sit down and watch it.
Diana,
Unfortunately,
have
I
you watched...
do a lot of stuff.
Very true.
Oh, I was gonna say I
You're-
do a lot of stuff when I watch movies. It's hard to read while I watch movies.
I'm the same way. Diana, have you watched any good movies lately?
My friends and I did a Pirates of the Caribbean marathon, watched all 3 of them and nothing more.
Fuck
There are no more
yes.
movies.
All 3.
Wait, so because you
And-
hadn't seen them.
I hadn't enjoyed I like saw them briefly in snippets when they were on daytime TV when I was a
Yeah.
kid and I didn't like
Mm.
I went on the ride.
Yeah.
I could smell that one scene. But that was it.
Oh my, Curse of the Black
Did you
Pearl
enjoy
is the
them?
best one.
It was really
Correct.
fun.
Yeah.
They're so hot. Everyone's just so hot. It's a bisexual's fantasy. It's like a candy
what
shop
you
for
mean.
bisexuals.
And I need your nightmare. Do you think they're accepting thirds?
I'm
Just a question.
No, the 3rd spot's for Jack. You have to be a 4th.
Oh, shit.
I'll be the cameraman. Can I just be there?
I just want to watch.
I just want to be involved, man.
I'm
wanna
so
be
glad
in
you've
there,
seen
Radiant.
them now, Diana. You understand. Because you play so many pirates.
I've been fucking typecast into a pirate so many times. I swear to God, I didn't know shit about pirates. I don't know fuck all about the lore. I just keep getting cast as them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Raimi's original character was a pirate. Like the first iteration,
Get into
It's
it.
crazy.
All
The
right.
sea
I want to
calls
see her
to
in a little
you.
pirate hat.
I guess.
Question for me. A treat from Bren. I know you're always fucking with the source material. What are a few touches that you've made to Chains of Asmodeus on your own so far? Calithria is originally a dude called Kotam, and I changed that because there wasn't enough female NPCs. And also being able to have two NPCs on the boat with vastly different vibes and voices helps a lot. And also just like it's easier on my vocal cords in general, especially since she talks a lot. And I did the same thing when I read it for the first time, and I really enjoyed it because I think her vibe changed very much. And like the original Kotam is very like kooky, kind of like your like strange uncle. But for her, she kind of ended up being a lot. She's like on the surface is very creepy, but beyond that, like I do like to see her as she is the head cleric in a large city, so she is very respected in her field, and kind of giving her that nurturing maternal edge that's kind of only seen by some. I really enjoy. So that's one change. I added in all the BG3 stuff just for fun.
Great touch.
Yeah. I changed a lot of Philagathos because it's really unclear, so I broke that up and changed that completely. And yeah, no, that's the other one. What's her name? Avalette is an NPC who is written into the book, who I presented to Madeline, and I was like, "You want to play her?" And she was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to play her." I was like, "You want to play a secretary?" Just like, I want to play a secretary so bad.
Oh, I love
Their
Oh,
secretary could for
Madeline.
sure.
The entire plotline I changed. So originally the items you guys were going after were like the most iconic items in the DMG, but that's boring. We all know those items. Like yawn, no. So I took the items from the evil route and I just replaced them in because it's better. And also the original storyline made it really easy for you guys to convince yourselves that you shouldn't do it. So I changed the whole thing. Like the Unmaker is just some powerful soul that the Halurans just want for some reason. And I was like, this sucks. I'm going to connect it to Karsus because I love Karsus. And so I came up with all of that. But yeah.
Love Karsus.
Cue for the cast. What's the most challenging thing about the class you're playing?
Oh god, being expected to fucking heal people. My subclass is not built for that shit.
That's so funny.
The action economy gets really weird when you're so I've multi-classed her into Echo Knight Fighter, and I have not played a cleric to this level before, and I haven't played a fighter I think at all before, so trying to balance like multiple actions and the feats that allow me special things is I study my character sheet a lot during combat. Like if you see me tuned out during combat, it's because I'm rereading my character sheet over and over again on my second monitor. So that's probably the hard part, is just the balance of it.
I do the same thing. I have not played a monk at this high level before, and I keep thinking I'm like missing something really important. But it turns out I just do really punch and just like have to throw a bunch of stuff on top of it.
Which is why we've
So-
multi-classed.
Which is why we've multi-classed, and I'm adding just a little bit. I finally got my hunter's mark.
Hell
Hype.
yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like being comfortable at such a high level. I don't think it's necessarily the class that's difficult. It's playing with so many things, because there's a lot of stuff as we get higher, and we're going to 20, which is intimidating. But I'm very
Yeah.
excited.
It's fun. I love high level.
It's gonna be scary, but I'm excited to play like a long form game at such a high level because I feel like I rarely get to do it. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to explore.
that's why this module is kind of its own thing, because you don't get high level modules, and it's extremely hard to write and balance them, and I think it does a really good job at it.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I think on my end, I wouldn't call myself a min-maxer. I'd call myself an optimizer. I knew my character needed to hit hard, and he does that. But also, I think most challenging, but also the most fun thing to roleplay with, to run with this character, is that the amount of times that I will get myself into situations where, when you are a person who lies, you suspect everyone from lying. So I will be like inside trying to scope out vibes, and those are insight checks. That's the worst thing I could ever be asked to roll. So it's very funny for me to be like, I'm highly suspicious, but I also suck at telling when someone's lying to me.
I think you just categorize that by Beckon just thinks everyone's lying all of the time and cannot prove otherwise.
Yeah. And then like, on a mechanical level, sometimes I forget that I gotta, it's just big damage die, big amounts of dice rolling, and trying to figure that out. And I do, unfortunately, I hate the stereotype of like Paladin being like, Paladin, one move, bonk. And I do end up doing that a lot, but it's the thing of like, damn, I have some spells that would buff and help. A lot of my spells would be really helpful to like a lot of people, but roleplay wise, it doesn't make sense. Like, why am I helping you? I know the
Yeah.
bare minimum amount of healing, and I have done a little bit,
You've
but
done
I'm like,
some
I
healing.
don't like doing this.
You've
I've done some healing.
brought some people back from the dead.
Yeah,
The
for sure. I'm
auras
like,
are
hey,
super helpful too.
Oh, the auras are great.
Auras are great. But yeah, getting more use out of my spell slots is something that I struggle with, because I'm like, damn, I could do like these cool combos, but I end up always resorting
but
to
the bonk is just it's reliable.
Yeah, when the chips are down, I know my job in this party composition is dish out big amounts of damage, and I know how to do that.
Alright. From Legendary Plague, how long do you think expect this campaign to go on for? I don't know. Next question. Q, for the cast, what's the character line you're most proud of so far, and the same for Maddie for NPC lines?
I have stuff that I have written down that I'm like, ooh, it'd be fun if I said this, but it hasn't come up yet. So we'll see. One of my ways to get into character, I guess, is like having those like speech moments. I'm like, if this happened, this is what I'd say. So I like have so much stuff prepped, but we're not super far down to where we have those like big intense moments yet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for when they happen, because I'm scheming. I'm scheming some really good ones.
There probably is like a line delivery that I'm proud of, but it's really not springing to mind. I have some cool things that I think I have some cool lines in mind. I am really looking forward to the first time I say I'm sorry and I mean it. Because the only times that I've said like apologies has been like, damn, you're an archdevil and you could probably kill me. I'm gonna be nice and be like, apologies, Lord. Yeah, it's like, but I have not ever. I think I said thank you once by accident, because that was Apollo slipping through.
That caught me
like
slipping.
the first heartfelt, the first heartfelt thank you and I'm sorry's, those will be fun.
Nice. I think any line I'm proud of are ones that I come up with on the fly and very quickly.
Like, if I had any quotes written down.
I was looking at the Infernal Quotes chat to see if anyone had written any down that I'd said, and the only one is when someone went, "Am I in hell?" And I asked Kayla 3, just went, "Not yet." Okay.
I have a quote written down from you that I really like.
Tell me. Oh, this is another thing. If other people have cool lines that they liked, mine's a moment when the death lambs, as I've brought that up so many times because I'm so fucking obsessed with it. The death lambs.
I did that last second. That spell was supposed to look completely different, but the death lamps are just way cooler. And it alludes to stuff.
was really cool.
Everything alludes to everything.
Hell yeah.
The line that I had written down because I felt like it is from Raphael to Mechnon. A drowning man will take any hand offered. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Did you
it's
like
gonna be
that
so
one?
fun when Mechnon's drowning and has to accept a hand later. It's gonna be
Maddie
so
keeps
good.
flirting with me through evil men. And it's great.
Yeah.
And it's working.
I was texting
working.
Apollo the other day, and I was like, I need Mechnon to end up with either Asmodeus himself or Jarlaxle, and I won't accept anything else.
We need
Mhm.
toxic yaoi.
By the way, for those who don't know, Jarlaxle's funny because Jarlaxle has canonically slept with several dragons. He has a type.
Damn. Okay.
You fucked dragons and I've fucked dragons.
I feel like all of Raimi's good lines are just her bits. If I can remember her original monologue, I will 100% make it a thing in this campaign because that'll be good. But I can't fucking remember it. I'll try and think of it. But all of her good lines have just been throwaway bullshit.
Real. I'm trying to think.
I like when Raimi said, I'm good at what I do, talking to Mechnon about like
Ooh, that was
where
good.
Saul went. Though the tone in which he said it, I was like, damn. Raimi's got baggage.
Slay.
Those are the quotes that I see from the last couple sessions.
I said some
I try to
pretty
read
good
things a lot.
lines as Beelzebul, and I can't remember any of them. Because the best lines I'll say are ones that I improv every time. It's not ones I've written down. It'll be some tweet I saw 7 years ago that I'll lock
Exactly.
onto. Bren knows this. Bren's in chat. I did that to them recently, which was saying that iconic line, cold water feels warm to the freezing. Love that one.
Ooh.
I
Jesus.
love
Water
Mechnon
metaphors.
quotes,
You don't want to know how that came up in context.
but,
I have Stygia.
Listen, okay, so my style as a DM at this point is when people are
Heroism.
always like, I'll give my DM backstory stuff and they never use it. And I take that as a threat. Into the point that people are like, okay, please.
The day that
depending
you
on
said-
the campaign.
The day that you said, yeah, you've never mentioned your wife, I went, no, Maddie, no, Maddie, no, please, I'm just a little boy,
Please.
no.
I have two more Mechnon quotes if you guys want them.
Yes, I want all the
Yeah.
quotes.
This is Mechnon talking to Beelzebub. We're asking Beelzebub questions. Mechnon says, "You will not withhold answers from a greedy man."
Oh,
That was.
I was like, that's
I
okay.
like that you responded to yourself, being like, "Okay."
okay, girl, eat.
And then talking to Raphael, friends die. I need a business partner.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was
That was
good.
good.
One.
That was good. That's how I flirt.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always, like, before a campaign, too scared to not do prep and write lines for myself. But my favorite episodes are always ones where I've improvised everything. Every single time. God. It's so
Feels good
fun.
to have a good improv.
I have a question for you, Maddie.
Yes.
I don't need an exact word count, but one overthinking yapper to another. how much prep did you have down before even going into the like session by session?
Not a lot, because I'd run the campaign before and a lot of it was already in my head. Here's the thing. I often don't write a lot of notes because my brain forgets a lot. When it comes to D&D shit, I lock onto that like no one's business. My brain is a Rolodex of my campaigns. So all of your character stuff, I don't have written down anywhere. I've just memorized it. But the only shit I've written down is the module. And sometimes I'll write down some dialogue lines that I really want to get down that aren't in the module. Funnily enough, my favorite quote I've ever said in a Chains of Asmodeus game was not with you guys. And I'm sorry about that, because specifically it was in Stygia, and it was just after I'd watched a particular Magnus Archives episode, which is why. I think I have it written down somewhere, because it's not going to happen with you guys. I'm going to try and find it. Alright, let me ask you another question, and while you guys think about it, I'll look this up. Never mind, there's no more. I'll think of one.
Your thinking face is really good.
Okay, what do y'all think?
this one didn't
Thank
go
you,
down.
ABC, do fuck me. What do you think your characters would love to do in their free time if they weren't trying to travel through hell?
Pre-Joker month or post-Joker month? Because those two answers are really different. Pre-Joker, I'm in love with my wife at my monastery, taking care of my kids, and training. What are you looking at? I don't have kids. They're my kids, though. Like, I train younger monks. I don't have any biological
Fucking watching
children.
watching you.
Solstice and Farah tried, but for some reason they can't impregnate each other. Who's to say why? But,
that's what I love about fantasy.
Despite their best efforts.
Whoa!
Period.
I mean,
but post, I'd be probably in prison.
my favorite hobby
Post, I'm in
is
jail.
incarceration.
So.
Gnawing at the bars of your enclosure.
Oh, what's the quote?
Okay, I'm going to say this with no context, but I need you to know it was in a very soft voice while I stared directly at the camera and did not blink.
Okay, I'm imagining it.
Ah, but you are something else, aren't you? Not lost, no, not yet. You are kept. You feel it, don't you? The frost that lingers, the hunger that is not your own. You were made for it. A vessel, a promise, a key waiting to be turned. And it waits still, dreaming in its prison, knowing you are out there. Do you hear him in the silence? Do you long for it? We know not why the fates chose you, but I know that you are so very afraid. I invite you to remember the rest of your mortal life well. Perhaps it will soothe your aching soul in its destined eternal torment.
Are you okay?
No.
It's not looking good for us. I'm scared.
So for those of you who have seen the Magnus Archives, that was absolutely based on Hive, aka the Jane Prentice episode. There is a wasp's nest in my attic. Their song is so beautiful and I am so very afraid. Perhaps they will soothe my itching soul. Ah!
You posted it, I was like, oh, I gotta re-listen to Magnus Archives.
So fucking good.
I never finished it. I think I got to episode like 60, so I'm just gonna restart the whole thing.
It's I'm up
probably
to
gonna have
I'm
to
up
start
to
listening
150.
to my
I'm
thesis.
chugging through that half an hour trip to my way to work. I'm just listening to the Magnus Archives before I go be a support worker. I'm just sitting there like, wow, hey everyone. Anyways,
I think if it wasn't in hell, yeah. So in Macnon's backstory, he led a civil war in Timanther and made it out with his like little personal army. So obviously he's not in a position. His army isn't in a position to start conquering other places. So I think Macnon would spend his time retraining his military, getting them to a higher standard, and liaising with spies and sending spies along the Sword Coast. Maybe in a crazy world, there's the excuse that he's given like his generals is that he's doing espionage personally along the Sword Coast. So maybe there's a world where he does that, where Macnon just sort of big hood and just sort of is walking from like Baldur's Gate to Neverwinter. From
Now
like
with that
Waterdeep,
fucking
Baldur's
insight,
Gate, Neverwinter.
I just want an
kinda
animation
walking
of him
along.
just walking in his little cloak. On the road again, but it's his feet are moving really, really fast, but he's not moving that fast. And you just hear the like, oh, what's the fucking like clacking noise that they use for like scrambling away in Looney Tunes?
Yeah, I know.
The like bongos.
I can hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear it.
I
Yeah,
also hear the
That's me.
voices. Also, secondary part to that quote that I said, this is how I described the being that said that. This being is so old that you realize how safe you truly were in the hells by comparison. In your mind, there is order and chaos, evil and good. You can always understand why beings do evil things. This is beyond your very comprehension. So ancient, it's a cutting from the makings of the universe that festered here into something that wants to collect you. You think the brutality of the hells is simple. To face it now would be a comfort.
Ugh.
Are we gonna have to read? Are we gonna have to read this?
And we're not running into that, right?
We're not running into that, right?
I don't know.
Right, Maddie?
Depends. What's up, Apollo?
No, wrong there for what I was thinking. Wrong there for. I'm thinking cosmology. I'm like, who is that bitch? No, thank you.
Anyways, question from Legendary Plague. What's y'all's favorite games or type of games to play?
It's literally
TTRPGs?
running in the background
Obviously.
right now. Oh, I thought you meant like video games. Blueprints is running in the background right now because I can't close it out because I'm in the middle of a puzzle.
Real.
So
I started playing probably RPGs. Like I started playing Expedition 33. Dan has also been playing it. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm
starting in a
doing what I
couple
always do
weeks.
in RPGs, and I think I'm accidentally speedrunning it, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I know I'm gonna figure it out later, and I'm gonna hate myself. Because I'll like load the lore and I'll be like, why didn't you spend more time in that place? It's because someone gave me a task and I'm going to go complete the task and I'm going to miss everything. Okay? And I'm going to get to the end of the game way quicker than anyone thought I should. And I'll look back and I'll be like, ooh, whoopsies.
Yeah, same. Like very anything that's like very story heavy role playing game. And if it's mythology or history adjacent, I'm there. Hades, the Hades 2, love them to bits. Yep,
I love a
gonna start
roguelike.
playing. Love a roguelike. I'm gonna start playing Expedition 33 in a couple of weeks when I'm back to streaming. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice. I will say it's a bad choice for a stream only game because it is. You're gonna want to play it 24/7. It's very addictive.
I think I might go live and keep playing it after we finish this because I had to play like Stardew Valley and Palia to like be like calm myself down and be like, don't open it again. You finished the stream.
Well, I mean, the only times that I'm going to be able to play it is when I'm not working on my master's thesis. So I think I have the self control to give myself very strict hours, and if I go beyond those hours, I need to. No, please don't.
Let's
No,
play
please
it
don't.
later.
No,
I'll
please
play
don't.
it.
If I know that I have a certain amount of hours that I have to do every week. So if I dig into thesis time with video games, I'll have to make it up some other time. And that means that I dig into my nap time at the weekend. And I don't want to do that.
Very fair.
We'll find out. We'll
Okay.
see.
Y'all, we
I'll say
only have a
that.
couple more minutes.
Believe in me.
Oh, sorry, Diana, you didn't answer. Go ahead.
Oh god. Shit. Well, in tabletop games I play a lot of horror, mostly because I can't fucking stand horror movies or video games. I don't like being jump scared, but I like how it translates to like theater of the mind. So I do a lot of that shit. Or horror board games, I'll do that too. For video
board
games, I have a lot of Minecraft hours. I'm not proud of it. I don't know.
We
I
need
love
to
it
make a
anything.
server again.
I know. Yeah, that was fun. We need to do mods. I played vanilla so much.
Yeah, we should play the Parasite mod. Has anyone ever played that? It's fucked.
I've heard you talk
Like
about
the
it.
movie?
No, literally. So basically, a parasite is released.
Oh.
Very like the Thing core, where
It's
it'll start infecting the animals and then the villagers, and eventually it just transforms into like more and more powerful things that can break through more and more powerful like blocks. And essentially, it's not if you'll survive, it's how long your community will last for until it gets killed. We used to do a fun thing where we would build a fortress in creative and then see how long we lasted.
Jesus, I'm looking
sounds
at the
kinda fun.
monsters for it.
I'd be scared,
This is
but that sounds
nightmare.
fun.
It's
fuel.
terrifying. And I
What
would
the
love to do it on live where we don't do any prep or we just like go on live and we just do it.
I'm digging as far down as I can, as fast as I can.
That's
making
not
a
going to save
bunker.
you.
I hate that.
Don't love to hear it.
My God.
It's so good. Okay, last question, because we're getting to the hour and a half point. From Bren, in what ways do you approach playing in an AP differently than playing a home game?
Oh, so much
They're
more
very
prep.
different.
Yeah, and there's like whole panels on why home games and APs are wildly different and why your home game doesn't necessarily have to be an AP.
And it's important
a
that they're
lot of people-
different. Very important.
Yeah. It's a lot more like entertainment, right? We don't spend a lot of time doing any one thing because we don't want the audience to lose interest. No one has the spotlight for too long, so it's a lot of work on the DM side to like keep things moving
Mhm.
at a far more rapid pace. We don't have massive shopping episodes for that reason. And I would also say it takes a lot more with regards to planning out your full character's arc from the get-go, as opposed to just dropping yourself into a sandbox world and seeing what the fuck happens. Like, I already have the ideas of where Raimi's gonna go, and we've discussed it behind the scenes several times, and like talked about how she's gonna adapt, so we know what's coming. Because the point is to tell a story, it's not to actually properly play the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like, we'll play the game in terms of the dice rolls and stuff. That's not to say anything is scripted or the player's surprise is faked. That's never the case. Like, the worst that will happen is, for example, if I have a guest on, I'll be like, guys, I need you in this location by the end of the episode. I'm not going to tell you why, but I need you there for reasons. And it's usually because we have a guest on and they have a schedule. So it's kind of balancing the production aspects and the creative aspects, which is absolutely a balancing game because you don't want to get too professional because you don't want, and that's kind of the thing, like when I'm talking to people, I won't refer to these guys as my players. I say these guys are my cast because it kind of like adds that element that I'm like, these are professionals who are working in a field and these are my peers. So I say like I want my cast to have a good time and still be playing the game that they love. But at the same time, we are making a product for an audience. And all of us want to make a good product for an audience. It's not like I'm forcing them out of doing the fun thing. They sign up for this because they enjoy it. But I think it's really important if you do APs. If anyone watching here does APs, you always have to have a home game. Just one. Even if it's a one shot you do every now and then, to remind yourself of the game that you love, because it's really important to also have when you can play where no cameras are on and you can just fuck around and have a good time and learn the rules and not be under so much pressure. But yeah, there's also a lot of focus on learning your character sheet so you can do combat fast.
Yeah.
I think literally same. From a player perspective, I just have always a sort of like, I view each session, each session is an episode in my mind, and I'm like, each episode is a microcosm of an arc, so you need like the wave of action, you need that sort of motion. So session to session, I'm like, oh damn, like when we were leaving Avernus and your man was like, yeah, bring it over to me, bring the armor over to me, and I was like, we don't have that kind of time story pacing wise. So I told him, I'm just going to throw it on the banks of the river. You can get it if you want it.
Well, you get a lot of DM hand wave. That happened. Moving on.
Yeah. It's you're keeping in mind pacing where you're like, oh damn, I would really love to like explore this city. Like Dees, I would love to have explored Dees a bit more, or like do this and that and the other. But I'm like, I don't know. We don't have that kind of, unless you go the like critical role, like 4 to 6 hour episodes, multiple 100 episodes, and even then you still need to have pacing in the back of your mind. From a DM's perspective, Madeline is a player of mine in a AP that we are pre-recording all of it, and every now and then I'll tell them, hey, I think like by the end of this episode I would love you to be here. I'll tell them, hey guys, here is your episode budget for the section of the arc that we are in. So there's like, you have 3 episodes to get through this initial challenge. You have 2 to 3 episodes to get through the next. So if we have to push it, fine, but just keep it in the back of your mind.
Like if something comes up or there's an awesome character moment, it's never set in stone, of course, because those kind of sometimes come out of nowhere. Also, we have some things like, for example, I always say one singular conversation with 2 or less people, 2 or less players, cannot go longer for more than 20 minutes to half an hour, because I don't want the other players to just be sitting there, unless it is extremely important, which there will be moments like that. Most of the time I always encourage, like, if you're going to have a conversation, get everyone involved. It's more fun that way. But yeah, and also you involve the audience as well with little things. There's, I feel like, a lot more focus on rule of cool in regards to APs, because like Bren said, a home game is entirely for having fun at the table, and AP is entertainment for more than just the table. Very fair. Like, you really can't have a nothing episode. You always want something to have happened, or if, at least in anything, you want it to be full of very funny moments and roleplay. If it's going to be a nothing episode, I need that. But yeah, APs are so fun. I love them. But I also love home games. I love them both.
Different beasts. For
sure. I don't think I love one more than the other. I think if there's one thing, I want to play in APs more, because I DM for a living now. I do a lot of dungeon mastering. So every time I get to play, it's a treat. But I get around to it. I'm so busy. Anyways, I think that's all we're going to have for tonight for our first ever Q&A. This was so fun. We'll do more soon, I promise. And obviously, we'll always have the Aftershow Q&A spot open. So if you think of a question, you can always just drop it in there at any time. It doesn't have to be before one of these Q&As. But yeah, follow these people. You know who they are. And if you don't, do. Why are you here? Follow them. You should watch us on Sunday. Bye. We'll raid it to someone, probably. Where's the ending? Bye.